Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And just like I keep on saying on this platform, politics is a very interesting game. And it is also a very dirty game. Two things are likely to happen in one Kenya Alliance movement. The first thing which is likely to happen is that Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Masika Wetangula are likely to break away from one Kenya Alliance movement. And after breaking away from one Kenya Alliance movement, they are going to do either of the following. Number one, Musalia Mudavadi is likely to be on the ballot alone in 2022, supported by Moses Masika Wetangula. The idea behind that move is that these two gentlemen believe that if Musalia Mudavadi is on the ballot in 2022, then they'll be able to consolidate and win the support of the larger Western Kenya region. So that's the first thing which is likely to happen. And then the second option for them is that Musalia Mudavadi will agree to support the Deputy President, Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto, for the presidency, either as a running mate or through some negotiated agreement. And they believe that with the support they'll offer the Deputy President, there is a chance that William Ruto is likely to become the next president of the Republic of Kenya. And therefore, they'll be able to survive beyond 2022. So the first thing which is likely to happen is that Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula are likely to leave One Kenya Alliance movement. The second thing which is likely to happen to One Kenya Alliance movement is that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and Gideon Moi are likely to break away and support President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. President Uhuru Kenyatta is going to support Raila Amolo Odinga for the presidency. Their calculations is that Kalonzo Musyoka can negotiate to be Raila Odinga's running mate in 2022. And they believe that Raila Odinga has only 5 years if he were to win the presidency. So we are going to have those two options, either Musalia Mudavadi going alone or supporting Ruto, or Kalonzo Musyoka and Gideon Moi supporting President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is going to support Raila Amolo Odinga. And to prove that, yesterday something very interesting took place in Parliamentary. President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga were pushing for some changes to the Political Parties Act. And finally, One Kenya Alliance movement was split right in the middle. Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Masika Wetangula voted with the Deputy President, Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto. On the other side, Kalonzo Musyoka and Gideon Moi voted with President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga's allies. That proves one thing, that One Kenya Alliance movement is actually split into two. So in this video today, I want to give you some facts and figures about One Kenya Alliance movement, especially after that vote. What that vote yesterday in Parliament means for One Kenya Alliance movement and their future. But before we do that, if you're watching this video for the first time, I want you to take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue to thank you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. I want to be very brief. What do you think will happen to One Kenya Alliance movement after the vote in Parliament yesterday? Or how can you interpret the voting pattern yesterday, where Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula voted with the Deputy President, Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto, while Kalonzo Musyoka and Gideon Moi and their allies voted the way President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga had wanted? I can interpret it in the following ways. Number one, there is serious division within One Kenya Alliance movement. The truth of the matter is that if One Kenya Alliance movement was united, then they would have demonstrated that unity on the floor of the House. They would have decided that we are going to abstain, so that Kalonzo Musyoka and Gideon Moi's allies were going to abstain. Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula's allies were also going to abstain. Or they would have decided that we are going to vote for this bill. Or they would have decided that we are going to vote against this bill. But because they voted differently, it only means one thing, that there is serious division within One Kenya Alliance movement. So that's the first thing. The second thing, which in my view is also true, is that there is serious determination by Musalia Mudavadi and to some extent Moses Wetangula to work with the Deputy President Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto. Or if that's not the case, there is determination by Moses Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi to actually frustrate President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. In fact, I was reading somewhere that there is a major fallout between the president and Musalia Mudavadi. Otherwise, why do you think Musalia Mudavadi would go ahead and vote or propose those amendments which were going against what the president and Raila Odinga wanted? It only shows one thing, that Musalia Mudavadi was sending a signal to the president and to some extent to Raila Odinga that for him, if he's not handled well, he's going to work with the Deputy President, Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto. We know how politics operate. Nothing in politics just happens out of mere coincidence. There is no way Musalia Mudavadi would have just woken up one day and decided that for him, he's going to vote alongside the Deputy President, Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto. He has fears which are genuine that if, for example, the bill was to pass, that bill was going to lock him out and force him to support Raila Odinga. But again, he's talking of 3 months. What will happen within the 3 months? Is it possible that Musalia Mudavadi is still creating room for himself to allow himself to negotiate with the Deputy President? No, that's the second thing. My third interpretation is that there is lack of clear plans for 2022 in One Kenya Alliance movement. Basically, this group don't know what they want as far as 2022 politics is concerned. If they knew their plans, then it would have meant that Kalonzo Musyoka would have played balls or Musalia Mudavadi would have played balls. But because they didn't play balls, it basically can be interpreted to mean that these two gentlemen don't know, they don't have any clear plan for 2022, which means Musalia Mudavadi is pulling the other side, Kalonzo Musyoka is also pulling the other side. So there's lack of clear plans for 2022. My fourth point, which I also think is the main thing, is that the One Kenya Alliance movement is basically about Raila Amolo Odinga. Musalia Mudavadi is very, very bitter with Raila Amolo Odinga. I think if he's not bitter with Raila Odinga, then probably he's very bitter with the President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Otherwise, if Raila Odinga was voting the other side, something inside tells me Musalia Mudavadi would have voted the other side. So basically, the One Kenya Alliance movement was formed to frustrate Raila Odinga. And the fact that Gideon Moi and Kalonzo Musyoka are slowing down, Musalia Mudavadi is determined to frustrate or to block any attempt by the president to push for the presidency of Raila Amolo Odinga. So I want to assume that what we are witnessing, or what we witnessed yesterday, is basically the fact that Musalia Mudavadi is not yet over with Raila Amolo Odinga. And lastly, my last point is that what I can interpret from what happened yesterday is that there is really a weak foundation. One Kenya Alliance movement was formed on a weak foundation. At one point, I asked myself one simple question. What was the need of forming One Kenya Alliance movement? What was the need of forming One Kenya Alliance movement? If these guys were in NASA, Raila Odinga and ODM had left NASA, why couldn't they just allow the other guy to come and join them? Why? The truth of the matter is that the foundation on which One Kenya Alliance movement was formed is weak. It was out of anger. The fact that Raila Odinga entered into a handshake with President Uhuru Kenyatta without informing them. It was out of anger that probably President Uhuru Kenyatta was supporting Raila Molo Odinga. It was out of anger that probably Raila Odinga never shared with them the political party's funds. So in my view, those are the reasons, in my view, why the voting took that particular pattern. But if you follow the politics in One Kenya Lands movement, Musalia Mudavadi and Kalonzo Musyoka, both of them have their own fears. Kalonzo Musyoka has the fear that if he were to support Raila Molo Odinga, he might lose the support in Ukambani region. That is his biggest fear. For Musalia Mudavadi, he has two fears. That if he were to allow Raila Odinga to run, then it means his party might not win the support he intends to achieve or to get from the larger Western Kenya. The other fear is that there's a lot of pressure from his allies to run. If he won't run, probably the allies might decide to join William Samoei Ruto, and that will weaken him. I don't know what you think, but in my view, One Kenya Alliance movement has a very big problem, and that problem cannot be solved today. It cannot be solved tomorrow. It will take time for One Kenya Alliance movement to agree to take a particular stand. But what I can interpret is that Musalia Mudavadi is likely to be on the ballot in 2022 just to stop Raila Amolo Odinga. And for Kalonzo Musyoka, I can also predict that he's likely to join President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga in 2022 based on how they are going to agree. What I'm not sure about is whether he will agree to be Raila Odinga's running mate, because Raila Odinga is clearly determined to appoint someone from the larger Mount Kenya region as his running mate. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. As you can see, I'm already in the village. I'm already in the village. Thank you, and may you have a good day.